Another morning, another transfer link. This time it's Mark Guéhi, because we all know what happened in the summer with his collapse move to Liverpool in the last minute. And we all know the situation at Palace where he's on a free in the summer. His contract is over. He won't be signing a new deal and he's going to be able to move for free in the summer, which is obviously going to bring a whole host of teams that are needing him. Yes, Liverpool tried to get him all last year. Will they try and get him again? Probably so. However, Manchester United's name has been thrown into the hat by some journalists, saying that Man United are monitoring Mark Guéhi on a free in the next summer transfer window. Absolutely, especially with limited progress being made with the likes of Harry Maguire's contract. So as of now, he hasn't signed a new one. If Maguire leaves, right, and his contract goes out, we play a back three, and Mark Guéhi is available on a free transfer. We have to be there. I don't think we'll get him. I think his dream move to Liverpool. Konate still hasn't announced what he's doing. You know, the likeliness of us getting him is probably very low. Well, I say I think it's quite low. I think he'll go other places. But we have to be at the doorstep for Mark Guéhi on a free when we play a back three. Martinez has had problems with injuries. We know you can't rely on Shaw. He's very experienced. He's captain of Palace. If everything goes back to plan, he starts playing again. He'll probably start in the World Cup. Conte might have something to say about that, but you get my drift. You don't turn your nose up at Mark Guéhi on a free. He improves us dramatically, and it's not a big outlay. So for me, absolutely, you go and get him. And just before people get silly in the comments, so you'd get Mark Guéhi instead of getting a midfielder? No, I wouldn't do that. No. So you'd get Mark Guéhi and wouldn't get any wing backs? No, I wouldn't do that. This is probably, I probably mean in addition to, because he's free. Yeah, you got to speak like that on the internet, because some people don't use context. Smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I might look like I'm in a good mood, but I'm not.
You might look like you're in a good mood after that last little bit of the intro. with those people on the internet, because they don't take context, blah blah blah. I might look like I'm in a good mood. Who said that? I think the general consensus was, when this deal sort of collapsed with him to go to Liverpool, that he'd probably end up going there just on a free in the sort of summer. But maybe not. According to Nathan Salt yesterday from the Mail, saying that Manchester United are expected to monitor Mark Guéhi's situation closely as his contract enters its final 6 months. A centre-back seemingly is on the agenda. Why? Because there has been what is being described by Nathan Salt as limited progress on extending Harry Maguire's deal, which also expires in the summer. Of course, we triggered the option on his deal earlier this year, didn't we? Or last year, whatever it was, last season. Yeah. But as of right now, he's not put pen to paper on a new deal or anything like that. The expectation would be, if Maguire was to stay, it would be, certainly a salary cut, and what would his role in the team look like, etc., etc., etc. But it's an interesting one, isn't it? The Mark Guéhi. First of all, I'm a bit like you. I just don't know if I see us getting Mark Guéhi next summer, to be honest with you.
I don't see it.
But there are some things which you go, I suppose it kind of makes sense that, used to playing in a back three, so he could fit straight in. I don't know if it'd be like for like when it comes to Harry Maguire, in the sense of, Mark Guéhi's going to come in to be a bit of a backup option or a rotational option. Look, if Mark Guéhi comes into Manchester United, he's starting, one would think. But if he's starting regularly, where does he fit in that sort of back three, where you go, okay, De Ligt's the sort of centre back. He's not missed a single minute this season, has he? He's been uber consistent. That right-sided centre back, more often than not, it's Lenny Yoro. It's only not when Amorim wants a little bit of extra height, seemingly, for set pieces, which is when De Ligt goes to
certain right games. Back, he's just working out when to trust him, when to not, in it. Yeah,
exactly. And then obviously Mark Guéhi's not going to come in. You think it'd be left centre back, so it's a bit. Once again, a bit like the Semenyo one, where you go, of course, you'd love to have him at Manchester United, no doubt about that. But where does that actually? How does that work? Where would he actually sort of fit
Mark Guéhi
into that back three? Yeah.
Well, like you say, you paint a picture that looks like one of Harry Maguire leaving, or even if he doesn't, you bring him in on a free. You got Harry Maguire in the back. That's very experienced, etc. But you'd have to understand not going to play much games. Leach is coming back, and you have to decide what you're doing with Leacher / Luke Shaw. Do you just want a big bunch of options because hopefully we're and worry about it afterwards because you want a bigger squad and you can't turn down, talk about market opportunities. You can't afford not to be at the door for someone like Mark Guéhi on a free transfer. Yes, big wages. I get that. Nothing's really free, but in today's
no such
world,
thing.
no such thing. But what Mark Guéhi would cost, which is what we've seen from previous windows, Newcastle United put in 4 bids 2 years ago for £75 million. I think it was. I covered it last time.
Yeah,
they said no to every single one. Then he didn't go last summer and was very close to with a year left on his deal at like 35 mil, 40, I think it was, something like that. And now he's going to go on a free. So it's a great opportunity to get someone like him. But Shaw, I mean, someone said that MA says sell Shaw in the summer. Selling Shaw always just feels weird, isn't it? It's like, it always feels like who would invest into him? Like he's just going to go on a free, innit? He's just not going to. So you lose one in Harry Maguire. Do you just go right? That's you just bring in Guéhi. In terms of starting, who's the best out of Guéhi, Shaw, and Lissandro? Well, I think defensively, Guéhi is sound. Shaw's sound as well. I think when Leach is the best version of himself, he's defensively all right, but obviously the obvious bits of the height and a bit of physicality. But I think Guéhi's probably the most assured, where you just know he's going to look after himself defensively. On the ball, the best is Leacher. And sort of in between that, Luke Shaw's probably the one where he's having a great season now, but you wouldn't bet on him doing it again. So, and like I said there, James said Leach has had 2 big injuries now. He's had 2 big injuries. So you don't really know what he's going to be like. Guéhi's been playing. I know he's injured a minute, but he's been playing consistently for the last however many years. So
I was just looking at his injury history, Mark Guéhi. I mean, it's very, very good. I mean, I mean, he had a knee issue in the 23-24 season where he missed 15 games. Aside from that, he's missed 2 games in this season. And then before that, he missed 3 games in the 2021 season. That's the only injuries he's got on record throughout his entire career. He's 25 years old. So, his injury record is very, very good. He's right-footed, but, comfortable with both feet. So I suppose could play left-sided centre-back. You do get the impression, though, that probably Ruben would want someone that is a natural left-footed player at left centre-back. You want that little bit of balance. And I suppose it depends. We kind of forget this with the wide centre-backs in particular. It's about what Amorim wants out of those wide centre-backs. We shouldn't necessarily think of them as your traditional centre-backs, you know what I mean? Because they're expected to do a bit more than that, aren't they? That's why Ruben makes those substitutions every game. He takes off at least one, or if not both, of the wide centre-backs in almost every game, because he wants them to be stepping forward. He wants them to be creative just as much as he wants them to be defensive as well. Which, look, Mark Guéhi can do. I think he's a really talented player. But again, I just don't know. I'm not sure.